Zach, I think the logging on has kind of slowed down a bit if you wanted to start it off.
Yep, welcome everybody in. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, Eyém Sq'éwqel. I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight. Tonight we're doing things a little differently, slowing things down a bit. You know, last couple of years it's been quite troublesome, you know, within our community and, you know, all across Turtle Island and globally. So we thought we'd slow everything down a bit, kind of come together as a family and in a community and share some much needed prayers and songs and just share what our culture has to offer and all the good healing vibes that it brings to our people. And so that's what is on our agenda today. And we have a few speakers and as well as some songs and, you know, just to share and be with everybody. You know, it's been quite a while since that we came together as a community. You know, we all miss the Christmas dinners and all the other events that our community holds. And we always come together as one and share food and laughs and everything. So with that, you know, I'd like to welcome everybody again. And so on the agenda, we have Peter Moreno that's going to open us up with a prayer. So at this time, I would like to hand it over to him, and then
all right,
we'll proceed. Thank you, everyone. OCM.
OCM, please to sketch contra, delete the sauce, roll off the lamb, delete the tiltlower. Echo stack with it, the sea was tip the alaqua. Keep thomas it, lamb come extend. Echo stack.
Thank you. And then we have a song. So turn it over to our singers and drummers at this time.
I think the first one was take care. Good night. Was the first drummer up that
Oh, sorry, my apology. Sorry. So that was a transition, right? And then the singers, correct?
So we just before we handed over to the first drummers, which I think the first one on the agenda was Les Peters Jr. That we wanted to just give you all some context on why we're doing something in this way. And just again, we put in the chat, but a reminder to mute for those of you that are not on mute, and for those that are comfortable, turn on their cameras, so we can try and be together virtually as best that we can.
Can you hear me, Alexis?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I just didn't know. So you want me to leave this on or do the little mute it? Or the other button?
It's great if you mute it for now, and then if you want to say something later, unmute. Just gets lots of background noise.
Okay, then I press the thing. Okay, I'll find it.
Community.
Yeah, I never tried this before.
And Lolly, I think you're unmuted, and there's just some background noise. Thanks, Lolly. And then just giving some context that we, yes, this was the day for the quarterly, but Chief and Council had really felt that we haven't done a good enough job in bringing the community together in a good way, knowing that we have been really immersed, as Zach said, in a pandemic that we've not lived before. We've all suffered loss in different ways, and we are in a space where our survivors are at the front of our hearts, our survivors of residential and day school. And we wanted to do something that was really rooted in our own culture. So Seabird Island, doing this in our way, and very uplifting to hold up and to honor our elders, and to hold up and honor our survivors, to hold up and honor those that have struggled through loss and not been able to come together the way that we know. And it resonated with us. So Zach and I might be on the agenda, but certainly with all of council, knowing that we have survivors on our own council team. And it's now time and up for us, our younger generation, and I still include myself in that for a little while, to hold up our elders and to be here and do this good work for all of the elders that are on the line and all that are in our families. Speaking personally, I reflected on this quite a bit, and as we see more and more announcements coming out, we know that it's challenging for those that have their own stories. And we have to hold our hands in gratitude, knowing that we're here because our survivors loved and cared for us before they knew us. They fought for us, and we're here because they lived a life and they fought to be with us. And I think about my own grandfather who's here, and I know I'd be sitting there next to my grandfather and my grandmother, both survivors, should we not have been faced with this pandemic. And just knowing that this is the first step in working harder and doing more to hold up the generations that built who we are, and that we have to thank for everything that we've become, and move forward in a good way and honoring our history. So that's really some context, because ultimately it should be our chief and Marcy doing this in lieu of Zach and myself, but we know we have our survivors that we hold our hands up to, not only in residential school, but day school. So Zach and I are doing this in this way and trying our best, but wanted to ensure that we do this and more often with our own people, our own drummers. And so that's just the transition piece. And we'll hand it on over to Les Peters Jr. for our first song.
How'd you get up on the roof?
Bring some good medicine to our community, and brought some brothers together here to bring the good feelings out for our community. There's been so much loss in this pandemic, and just share some songs with the community. So
I'm on a meeting for this.
yeah.
You don't stand it. Spirit spoke, I rejoin it and have fun when.
Real board does a project work in there.
Zach, do you want to put it up the next person?
Yep. Thank you everyone for that beautiful song, opening up the night with some good medicine. Thank you for taking that time and sharing that medicine with our community, our elders. And right now, like to ask Eyém Sq'éwqel to share a few words.
Eyém Sq'éwqel. I'd like to, first of all, thank everyone that's here to help share their medicine. And thank everyone that's online here too, and the ones putting this together to help uplift the community. And I'd like to ask the young ones to go sit down with their elders and speak with them, let them talk to you, and you'll be amazed how much that will uplift you in our times and on these days, all the losses we've had. yeah, they'll have a lot of words that will help you through this time. And also like to try and encourage everyone to pick up some good hobbies and hobbies in our culture. Try and learn to carve or bead or pick up this drum. All the crafts and hobbies that we have in our culture, that's all that'll help you heal as well. If you're feeling down, pick up a drum or some beadwork or carving, and that the pieces that you work on, that will uplift you, and that piece that you work on will be your healing piece. And yeah, I just wanted to leave those few words of encouragement there.
ACM. It's good words. You know, with like the current restrictions and everything, and you know, we're only allowed to stay at home, and you know, we're not to go visit like how we used to, and it's probably a good opportunity to, you know, pick up things and learn some of our ways and stuff. And so thank you, Daryl, for your words and your words of encouragement for everyone, ACM. And so, and then so if we can ask the drummers and singers to share another song, that would be great. Diane, is everyone, or are we able to? Thank you for that song. Is very uplifting, and that's one of the things I treasure about our songs, and all the different songs that that we use. It helps bring up our spirits, helps us. There's a lot of different songs for different uses, and that's one of the things I enjoy about our culture. I think I've seen somebody have their hand up. Or no, I guess not. So with that, I'll ask Tamara, Andrew to share a few words with everyone.
Hi, everybody. Thank you all for the songs and the drumming and for inviting me here. I think one of the songs and the drumming is one of the things that I miss most about gatherings or family gatherings. So I'm not sure if you all know me, but my parents are Jennifer and Paula Andrew, and my grandparents are Mary Lou Bull and Arthur Andrew and Lillian Pickles and Lionel Swan. I was asked to come here to talk about how I navigate both the colonized world and the indigenous world, and to talk about how I maintain a balanced lifestyle. I guess to give you a little context, I'm working on a bachelor's in business administration accounting with a minor in psychology, which most people find pretty interesting, but I think for me, it really works. I actually work in another community supporting some major projects, including a health center and a healing center for our region. My work in a different community has really helped me find my voice in terms of our community. They've really opened my eyes to visioning at that leadership level and taught me about self-determination and self-governance. And all this work in this other community made me realize that my true identity is with Seabird. I've been very passionate about community issues, which really inspired me to be that change that I wanted to see, you know. So for the last 9 months, I've been doing my best to get out there and make a change in the community in a positive way. And I never realized that when navigating our world and the colonized world that I was using this two-eyed seeing method, because unfortunately we live in a colonized world where the views tend to be narrow-minded, but you know, navigation is necessary. Whereas in our world, we know that everything is connected and that being short-sighted isn't really sustainable. So I'm here to talk about my navigation, which I think is founded in having one, an open heart and an open mind, and two, having empathy, respect, and compassion, which I think we as First Nations people pride ourselves on. Three, I think being solution focused, focusing on overcoming barriers and not the barriers themselves. And four, knowing that culture is the only way to take back what the colonizers took from us and the harm that they caused. Culture is our path to healing. It's our medicine. It's who we are. Sometimes when we think of culture, we think about it from like a spiritual perspective, but culture is our way of life. It's speeding, it's fishing, it's hunting, drumming, singing, you know, it's our values, it's our identity. I also think that cultural sensitivity is vital. Understanding that for our people, the spirit comes first. Taking care of the spirit in part means, you know, attending funerals or helping the family when if you're asked, and also understanding that when our elders speak, that we listen. Now on to how I maintain a balanced lifestyle. I actually thought about this question a lot, and I think that there really is no perfect balance. For me, I'm always striving for that balance, knowing that the mental and the physical, emotional and the spiritual are all connected. For me, like laughter is healing. Honestly, I laugh a ton. Me and my best friend are always arguing about who actually laughs more. I don't drink and I don't use any substances. I also am just a big promoter of self-care, doing things for yourself that you want to do. And I know that looks different for everybody, because for me, it looks like reading or baking or getting my hair done or getting my nails done. physically, I know is so hard, but usually I try to do things that are fun. Lately, I've been hiking, and being outdoors helps with that, connection to the land. And exercise also helps me mentally to help me manage stress, which I think is important while I'm like working full time and going to school and trying to invest in our community. Mentally is such a big thing for me. And it can be much harder than the physical piece. Like I remember reading this one thing that intergenerational trauma is the transference of pain through generations. And the only way to stop it is for one person to stop and feel it. So actually, I started seeing a counselor recently because I find intergenerational is just so overwhelming to me, and that like I see it everywhere. And one of the most important pieces, I think, is that knowing that what works for other people isn't really what works for me. The way that I learn in school, and the way that the colonized world designs these 3-hour lectures really isn't for me. I have about the attention span of a squirrel, and I'm really not an auditory learner at all. And, in our history, education wasn't as rigid as the colonized structure. Our elders knew what our gift was from a young age and groomed us for those positions. And people's value was not determined on how good they were at math or English. And, I really look forward to how our education jurisdiction is going to resurrect our traditional views on education and how they will individualize it to the students. Honestly, I'm excited for our path to taking everything back from that the colonizers took from us, through self-determination and self-governance, founded in our culture, reworking education and children and families and systems to suit our people, So thank you.
Thank you, Tamara. Keep up all the good work in school, even though your attention span is about the size of a squirrel. And then, so with that, like ask Sally Lewis and her family to share a song with everyone.
Everybody? Yep. Right. Yeah, I hope I'm ready. They hear us now. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And after that song, it reminds me of the uniqueness of our community and how we come from different territories throughout BC. You know, we have the Nklapmuk and the Statlian, and so that's really good to hear medicine coming from different territories of Turtle Island. So at this time, I'll ask Sean Ray Gabriel to share some words. ACM.
Can you hear me? Yep. Okay. Just first off, want to say awesome singing, awesome song. You know, it brings uplifting spirits to everyone. And, you know, we're in trying times, and it's always good to hear our traditional songs being sung by families. That was pretty cool. I was asked to come on to share some words about living balance. You know, how our traditional people, you know, practice our 4 directions or our medicine wheel. And it is a big part of our way of life and how we understand our belonging in this world, especially a fast-paced world. If anybody's not familiar with it, you know, our medicine wheel and 4 directions are surrounded around spirituality, emotional, mental health, and our physical selves. And as far as I know and what I was taught, our basic goal in life is to get all of these 4 things in balance and in tune with each other to feel like we're fulfilling our reason for living, our way of life. And the longer we continue to work at these things, sometimes it takes a lifetime. Most of the time it takes a lifetime. I was always taught you never stop working or learning until almost till the day you die. And part of our spiritual being is within that music that we just heard. And the prayers that go along with those songs, the prayers that are reaching out to the people, the prayers that are being gifted to everyone. And another direction is the emotional side. Emotional side of our people is taking care of our inner selves, our inner being, our inner wellness, and understanding what our purpose is to care for other people as well. But we can't care for other people unless we take care of ourselves. And in doing that, we also balance our mental health. And our mental health is so important because if you're not taking care of what's going on up here, you're going to be unable to function a normal life. If you're always worrying, stressed out, you're never going to be able to live in the now, live in the present, live in a day that you're allowed to have every day. And with that mental and emotional and spiritual health, we also have to be active. We're active people. That's our physical side. And with that physical being, we're taking care of how we practice our traditional practices of exercise, being active all the time. We never stood idle in our traditional ways. And long ago, everybody always had a job. You're always moving. You're always taking care of something. You're always contributing to your community. And that's what created our resilience as an Indigenous and Aboriginal and the real human beings, as some people put it. You know, I've always liked that. We were always considered real human beings because we always accepted and we are always accepting of everyone. And that's what I love about our Native people. We're resilient. We continue to stand on our feet, continue to stand with each other. Even if we think different of one another, you know, we're still there. We're still there next to each other. And that has to continue on to our next generations. You know, the more that we work on all those 4 directions and those four teachings in life, the more we can forgive ourselves and forgive others and forgive the things that have gone on, you know, to our people. And I understand that it's been trying times and we're challenged daily, especially nowadays, you know, with all the discoveries and stuff going on. It's triggering a lot of people, you know, with isolation and stuff from families, friends, you know, where it's getting more and more difficult to be allowed to exist in our normal setting, in a normal way we're wanting to live. So I just want to offer up prayers and give thanks to everyone for allowing me to speak. You know, and I just hope everyone continues to be resilient, love yourself, love others, be proud of the body that you live in, the mind that you have, the heart that you carry. And don't ever be ashamed of who you are. We're all here together. We're all living in it. We're all loving it. We're all laughing in it. So with that, you know, I'm not here to judge anyone, or I just hope that I've not offended anyone with the words that I've shared. That was not my intent. And if I have, please forgive me. I'm young and still learning. And with that, I say, all my relations, thank you for allowing me to be here with you. Thank you.
ACM, thank you for your teachings and your words. And at this time, I think our chief had wanted to share some words, and so we'll ask our chief to share.
Thank you, Zach. I want to thank Alexis and Zach for taking us on for tonight. It's something that I think our community needs, to have a get together like this. We always seem to find ways to adapt to our situations that we're in nowadays. And this is one of the ways that we're doing it, is with the Zoom, our teams, or with these meetings that we're having. I remember years ago when people used to gather all the time. It was great. All the families would get together. And we always had kids running around the hall when we were gathering. And I probably wouldn't doubt if I was one of them when I was a young kid too. So, but I wanted to mention that ever since the fire happened up in Lytton last year, that was a really tough thing for everybody to see and hear about. I know Seabird, some of our staff members and our council members stepped up and helped out with people who were being evacuated, helping them find places to stay. Some of our members and band staff even took a crash course on how to be emergency people, for helping people get their needs, like food, clothing, places to stay. I think that course was set up 1 day or 2 days, and then there was people stepping forward already to join that course to help the people out. I thought that was great, how our people just step up and move forward like that to help everybody. Doesn't matter where our people are from. We always seem to have a helping hand out to offer people. And then when the Kamloops happened with the 215 graves that were found, that was even more shocking. I think that shook the whole world up, that news that came from Kamloops back in, what was it, June or July? That was sad. It brought back a lot of hurt feelings for a lot of people. A lot of the people that attended the residential schools. A lot of our grandparents, our parents, aunts and uncles. It brought back a lot of their feelings when they attended there. Myself, I went there I went there in 1974. It brought back a lot of feelings that from when I was there. My situations weren't as bad as my parents, but it was still bad. And now to this day, there's even more and more graves being found. The pandemic is really took a big hit on everybody, not here, but only here, but all over the world. It's hitting everybody. It hit everybody hard. Lockdowns, people got locked down. People getting COVID. The different COVID seemed strange because it changed from one day to the next. Different variants, different types of isolation. It's hard to understand. It really kicked our butts when it come to our gatherings for our people when they passed on. We had a hard time trying to follow the rules. And I think it still is a hard time to follow the COVID rules for when we lose somebody. We lost so much people in the last 2 years. It's sad. And we couldn't do what we normally do to help them out. I know that some communities, they kept on with it, but some of the communities paid for it also for what they were doing. And they ended up getting a lot of cases of COVID. We ended up getting lots one time because we let our guards down and it hit us pretty hard that one time. Now this new variant that's out now, it catches on so fast. It went through my house, like somebody opened the front door and it went right through to the back door. And it just about hit every one of my family members. We're just now starting to get over it now. It was hard because I was asked to do some work for a couple of families and I don't like to turn people down, but I had to this time because of this COVID stuff. So it kind of hit me kind of hard. I really appreciate all the drumming and singing that's going on. And I appreciate that it's a lot of it's from our own community. People are pulling together again to lift everybody up, lift each other up. It's nice to hear the younger people talking on here. It's great words that you guys are all saying. I'm proud of you guys. So hopefully this is going to be the turning point where things are going to start turning out better now. It can only get better from now, I think. It's been 2 years, almost 2 years now. I think in March will be 2 years since we finally went on lockdown. It was a shock to everybody. I think a lot of people didn't really believe it. I had a hard time believing that this was really happening. At times I used to think about what did our elders do when they had the diseases when they were young. Like, I don't know what they used to do. Did they get locked down too? Or how did they deal with things? How did they deal with their putting people away and, you know, gatherings? I never did hear anything about that part of life from my grandparents, what they used to do. I'm kind of curious about it, but again, I wanted to thank everybody. I hope everybody keeps their chins up and we're all taking this on the chin. It's hard for everybody. One good thing about our communities is we always have this place to call home. I was thinking about the Wellington people, you know, they have only place they have to call home is the one they buy. The land that they buy, that little piece of land they buy, that's their home. We have this, our community, our reserve. This is ours. It's going to be ours forever. We always have to have a place to come back home to. You know, you can go back east, you go down south, up north, anywhere. You always have this place to call home. Family, friends, this is your community. So I just wanted to say thank you for everybody that joined this meeting tonight. And good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, for your words. At this time, I'm gonna open up the floor to anyone else that would like to share words or any medicine, like if they have any songs to share, anything, we like to open up the floor. Yeah, go ahead, Marcy.
My hands go up to you, Zach, as a young cultural person in our community. The strength you brought to this tonight, and same to Alexis. I thank you both. And I really want to recognize Tamara for her strong words and sharing her goals and her dedication to what she wants to accomplish within her life. I really do respect that. Sally and family, it was so good to see the song, the drumming, and the sharing that you did for us. It was so uplifting and it made me feel so good. I thank you for that. Sean Ray, thank you for the good words, from speaking from the heart and telling us how you feel and how we should be able to work within our community. It is so good to hear these words. And I really, really compliment the youth for stepping forward, and the drummers that came on in the beginning. Thank you for the uplifting songs and the heartbeat of the drums. The heartbeat of the drums is what's going to help us through all of this. And yes, COVID has been so difficult. We have lost family and friends during this 2 years. It's hard to turn people away and say you cannot come share with us. That's probably so difficult for the families. It was hard. Our culture opens up everybody to come and share, but to limit people, it was really difficult. And I know most families have acknowledged the bylaw and the COVID rules and stuck by it, because we do care for our community members. We care that we don't want to share this COVID virus to our elders and to the rest of our community members. I do want to recognize and thank Jim for the good words, for sharing with us. And as Jim and myself, as residential school survivors, Wally and I just lost another best friend 2 days ago that we went to school with. And it's so difficult, again, because we cannot share with family or go to visit. So I want to thank everybody who came online tonight to listen, to share, and to hear the words of the people who stepped forward, and the drummers, the singers, and the speakers. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcy. Yeah, it was pretty good to hear everyone's songs and their teachings and sharing that with everyone, because we come from a sharing background. Our culture is all about sharing and love, and really thank everyone for that. And Alexis, is there anything you want to say before we
I just think
conclude?
hands up, everybody that's online. It's really lovely to see. I know people have come and gone, but up to just the increased numbers, which is certainly more than we see in a quarterly. And I think we certainly take that back as leadership, and the administration team that really made this happen. Hands raised to all of these amazing staff that we have that put this on, and all the drummers that we see on some of the screens. It's just lovely to be here in this way. And again, just reminding, we didn't call on elders as speakers, and it was done a little bit differently, but because this is ultimately it for you and to honor you. So calling on that younger generation to share all the beautiful words that we've heard this evening. So thank you so much for coming out. We kind of gave it our best go. And please raise your hand if there's any closing words, and very much looking forward to this songs from yet again, the Lewis Warrior Women.
And then I think Margaret had her hand up, and then we'll go to the young fella on the Galaxy tab after she's finished. Thank you.
Actually, I was clapping my hands, but thank you. I was just happy to hear everybody speak and listen to everything. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I would like to say thank you for allowing me to be here. And I'm just want to say that I'm starting to really learn the Hakamail language and the prayers and songs. I really want to escalate it to go further, because I have plans for all of these, because I want to become an animator, and I want to share this story, the feelings and everything in the atmosphere of Indigenous people. And well, everything I see in our culture is absolutely beautiful. And the drumming, the singing, the rhythm, all of it, just amazing. The art style, the list will keep going on. I just want to say thank you all for letting me be here. It's been an honor, I guess. So yeah, thank you. I'm a former student of Seabird Island, graduate. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. So Eyém Sq'éwqel. Thank you. You guys are awesome.
Awesome. You're awesome too. You keep it up.
Awesome for a Seabird graduate on the line. Awesome.
So hopefully we can have maybe set up some more of these, and nights of sharing and that, and I think that would be totally awesome if we can just keep this ball rolling. And sometimes culture does get intimidating or scary, for everyone, but that's what our community is for, is to help each other and help each other grow. And so there is a Hakamail app if anyone hasn't downloaded it. I have it on my phone. I think it's called First Voices. But anyways, I remember our chief had mentioned adaptability, and I remember a long time ago when the government had told us that we're unable to practice our potlatch ceremonies, and we're unable to utilize our language, and so our ancestors and our elders would go like way back into the mountains where nobody can hear them or see them or find them, and that was one way that they adapted. And when our chief brought up adaptability and how we are adapting in today's world, where sickness is going around, and so this is one way that we can bring our culture together, bring our people together in a safe way, and continue to practice our culture and practice our language and share our teachings and whatnot. And so I just kind of wanted to share that with everyone, before we carry on with our evening. And so I just want to thank everyone for coming out and giving up a piece of their life to just be with us and be with our elders. And our elders are so precious, and it's been a tough few years. I miss my elders. I don't go visit them as often as I used to, but that they're always in the back of my head, wondering how they're doing and whatnot. And so with that, is there anyone that would like to share? Or so I guess with that, then I'd like to say, I guess that Margaret was saying that we had 14 elders in our community tonight. So that's awesome. That's really awesome, and that's good to hear. And I love everyone and miss all of you guys, and hopefully we can have some more of these in the future. So I'd like to say good night to everyone. A slat.
And over for the last song to, I think it said Sarah Lewis.
Oh yeah, sorry.
To
Yeah,
the Lewis
sorry.
family.
So we'll turn it over to them. OCM. Awesome. Very good to hear.
What a way to close, Sarah Jean. That's just amazing. Thank you.
Well, to all the youth, and keep up all your hard work, and that's awesome. It's really good to see. It is. It's really uplifting and touching. Just keep it up. Awesome. So with that, that's the end of our agenda. And hopefully everybody sleeps well tonight. You know, tomorrow's a new day. So with that, everyone, we'll see you next time, eh? Slat.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Yeah, good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night,
Good night, everyone.
Quit slama.
Quit
Slama.
slama.
Quit slama.
Oh, hi, Jim.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
How you doing, Peter?
I'm doing good. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Yeah. You take care,
You
everyone.
too.
Yeah.
Hi, Tim.
Night. Oh, hi.
Bye-bye.